So how you been doing, Willie?
Good, man. Just a lot of meetings today, man, and just trying to catch up on some work that I missed while up in Chicago.
Okay. Just to kind of set this up, Willie and I, we met. Willie is a comedian. New York, right, Willie?
Yeah, I'm from South Florida, man, but I live in New York.
Right. So he's in New York, and we met at the Louis Carr had his first annual Dirty Little Secrets men only conference, and
Yep.
it was very powerful. I didn't get to make it Friday, so I missed a lot of information. But Willie and I, we met, in the where everybody was was just gathering outside of the conference itself specifically, but we just ran into each other and we just connected. But Willie took some really amazing notes, and one of the things he was sharing with me is Daymond John, who was one of what was there as a speaker. I mean, there was a full house. You had Daymond John, you had what's my man name?
Bob Johnson.
Dougie Fresh. Billy Dexter, who actually is, I think he's part of like a managing partner from, you had chairmans, you had Charlemagne the God, he was there. You had Sway Calloway, Sway, I'm giving his full name, but you had Sway. Sway was there. You had Pastor Charles Jenkins, for those who are familiar. You had just an amazing host of people, and you had to be there to really understand how impactful it was. And I would encourage everyone and all you brothers and sisters who's watching this, go to as many conferences as you can. Definitely can be a game changer for you. Not only that, for me personally, I connected with a lot of people such as Willie. And Willie, he's a comedian, and he'll be able to give you a little bit more about who he is. And then Willie, we can kind of get into, what Daymond said about setting goals. And I call this how Daymond John set $1 million goals, because he is a millionaire. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we was in Chicago, and so I want to introduce Willie onto the podcast. Talk to me today.
Thank you, man.
So Willie, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. My name's Willonious Hatcher. Some people know me as Will Hatcher on YouTube, and of course Willie Dynamite. That was kind of just like a nickname I got while I was in college through my fraternity. Just kind of stuck. Sometimes on stage people call me that, but my goal, I guess, as a comedian was to have more nicknames than Diddy, like low key. But yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian, man. Author, TED speaker. Most recently, I just wrote my first sitcom, and we shot it last weekend, right before the Dirty Little Secret conference. Yeah, man, and I guess my interests really include human development, human potential, man. Like to consider myself somewhat of like a black yogi. I'm really big on just like on health, and just all types of like alternative health methods, which can go range from anywhere from qigong to yoga to I did a 10-day silent meditation retreat. My TED talk was actually about it was called Make Your Brain Twerk. So it was about different hacks that I learned to get you kind of like in an optimal state. And then so my reason for going to the Dirty Little Secrets conference was just to connect with other individuals like myself. I go to a lot of conferences every year, probably like anywhere from like 6 to 10 conferences. Ranging on a different variety of like disciplines. And this is like one of the first conferences. One, I got invited by Louis Carr at the Black Enterprise Conference. He was like, make sure you come to my conference. And I was like, all right, well, I'll be there. And I saw like the lineup of speakers. And then I apologize about the noise.
It's okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to be, I'm always kind of just searching and wanting to be around other individuals that, especially black men that are doing exceptional things. So
Right.
Also, so in I sit on a couple boards. One is Arts Commission, Arts Warehouse Board in Delray Beach, and then the board for Black Tech Week, which is a tech conference in Miami.
You know, what was some of the goals, or what was the process that Daymond John, you know, what did he lay out during his talk?
Okay. Yeah, so my note, I wrote down notes, man. First of all, his talk was like super powerful. And the lighting, just the amount of information that he shared with us at the conference. So number one, he said you have to put in more work than anybody else, which for a lot of people, high performance people that I've talked to, that's probably one of the most consistent statements that like you have to work extremely hard. And a lot of times I think that people think that success is easy and you can, you know, buy into like the 4-hour work week or think, you know, you can have some sort of like work-life balance. And that really doesn't exist, not at the high levels. So number one, you have to work harder than anybody else. You know, be the first one in, last one out. Two, he said that you have to your people and your culture to keep people. So you have to develop a certain like culture within whatever workplace that you work at in order to keep the people there. He said know your numbers. That's very important, to know your numbers and be up to date. You know, so you don't get in a situation where you get blindsided because you don't know what's going on, you know, within your organization. To increase business, he said, sell more and decrease costs. Do better business, not raise more money. So one of the things he was advocate for, not necessarily always trying to like raise a bunch of capital, which is something that we hear a lot in, you know, the startup community is like go out, raise as much money as possible. But, you know, I think from what I want to, because I don't want to misquote him, but like he was kind of, the idea he was pushing was seem like, you know, get to market as soon as possible, create some type of value, you know, instead of trying to raise a bunch of money. So do better business, not raise more money. He mentioned that you want to be able to take criticism very well, because the criticism allows you to actually grow your business. So I think a lot of times we hear criticism, like we love the praise, but we don't really listen to the criticism, because he's like, you get way more value from the people that complain, because they're telling you what their issue is. And, you know, as an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver. So you definitely want to be, you know, have an ear to people that are like, whatever concern they have, like listen to that and use that to improve your business. He said most small businesses fail from overfunding, which was probably the first time I really heard that, but it was the concept and the idea was sound, just in the sense of like, you have a bunch of money, you'll waste it on things that you don't necessarily need. Versus if you don't have any money, you got to get super creative and, you know, your way of going about business. His rules, and we jumped down to, and I wish I had more notes, because he gave a lot, so I'm writing as much as I can. One of his investing, he said that this is the way he evaluates everything. He said, do I like them? Because obviously you have to be able to work with individuals that you invest in. So if you don't like being around this person, you don't like what they stand for, their integrity, their values, most likely he's not gonna invest in their company, just because he doesn't like being around them. Is the product viable or scalable? So, you know, in essence, can he make money from this product or service that he's investing in? And then his third point that he made when he's talking about investing is, can he contribute? So I think he's along the lines of, he doesn't want to just be somebody that invests money and then just sits back and, you know, just waits for the money. He wants to be able to add some sort of value via maybe his ideas or advice, you know, to companies that he invests in. Somebody asked what he would have known, wish he would have known when he first started out, that he knows now. And he said that he wishes he had better financial intelligence when he started. which is a big thing. They they talked about financial intelligence for a while after he's mentioned that, but it's just very important to, educate yourself and have a high level of financial intelligence, just so when you get money starts coming in, you don't squander it right away. This is so these are probably the two gems that really stood out. He said that you have to really work on your I didn't write it down. I think it's called the no muscle. Well, rejection muscle. I'm sorry, rejection muscle.
Right.
That's what it is. So he said if you're not hearing enough no's, you're not making enough attempts. Yeah. So you want to hear no's is often as possible, because that means you're closer to getting a yes. Some people call it like emotional. Well, Dan Pena calls it his emotional bank account, but you have to get accustomed to being comfortable being uncomfortable. Right. So, if you're out to achieve anything of a high level, you're going to hear a lot of no's, just because people might not understand your vision or whatever reason, but you want to, be able to persist and until you actually get a yes. So, so you definitely have to work on your rejection muscle, having a very strong rejection muscle. And then he spoke about his goals and the way he sets his goals at night. So he says every night before he goes to sleep, he sets 10 goals. And the first 6 goals are goals that he wants to accomplish the night before. In the next 6 months, I'm sorry. This first 6 goals are goals he wants to accomplish in the next 6 months. Then he has a goal that he wants to accomplish in a year, a goal that he wants to accomplish in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. So the ones that he does every 6 months, the first 6, you make sure he goes over there, repeats those every night. And and then I wrote that he said find local superstars. So a lot of times somebody asks about getting sponsorships or getting celebrities to be a part of your marketing campaign or whatever. He's like, look for local superstars, because they can, they have a lot of leverage. They can gain some traction for you. And they're popular within their respective spaces. And then he spoke about health. He said that there's a thing called executive physicals that they cost a little bit more money, but they're very intensive physicals that he was recommended by I guess somebody else in his space. One of his colleagues told him to get an executive physical, and it actually ended up benefiting him. I don't want to share his, I don't know if he wants his personal details shared, but he had a situation and he was able to, the executive physical, really helped him out. So he recommends, it's very costly. I think I looked it up. They run anywhere from between, are you guys hear me okay? Cause I gotta.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. I looked up the price, and they run from anywhere between like $2,500 to $10,000. But it's an executive physical, but it literally everything that it's just a very intensive physical that checks like everything that's going on with you. So I would definitely say look that up, executive physical. And then the goal setting parts, I actually wanted to talk about that because Lewis Carr actually mentioned he does the same thing with setting his goals at the end of the night. And there's a really good book out there. It's called Release Your Brakes. And it actually goes into that whole process of, visualizing right before it. So the 2 most important parts of the day are right before you go to sleep at night and right when you wake up in the morning. So those are times that you want to visualize what you want in life. So, and by visualize, you visualize like the end goal. So if you want to secure a new client or get, whatever it is, you're trying to bid a proposal or something like that. You want to visualize yourself actually, getting a proposal, starting working on the building, like visualize the end in mind. But they talk about that. So like setting these goals and then having like affirmations that back up the goals that you set are 2 very powerful, and I've done it myself. 2 very powerful techniques for achieving these really big goals that you set for yourself. So it was really interesting to hear Daymond John mention that, and Louis Carr mentioned that, that they do that as well, because those two times, like right before you go to sleep, and you just go to sleep actually visualizing whatever it is you want to achieve, and then right as soon as you wake up in the morning, those are two important times for your subconscious to, like, attract to whatever it is you want to attract. I know I don't want to sound too woo woo out there, but
even Jordan, like, one of the things I know what made Jordan great, or any person on a professional level who's doing it consistently, is that they already can visualize success.
Yeah.
And I think because everything is in the mind.
It's your imagination. Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting. It's just that we don't talk about that enough, because essentially you can, if you want to use it from a spiritual sense or even from a religious standpoint, it's really just about having faith. That's what it really boils down to. So when you're visualizing, you're holding on to the idea of what you want to manifest. So you want to constantly, like, and why you do that every night is because, like, that's what you want your future to be like, and but they're very powerful techniques. I mean, anybody that plays sports knows about the power of visualization, because they visualize, like, I mean, every athlete, Kobe or whatever, is like, I visualized myself shooting that shot when I was a kid, and it just so happened. So, our minds are very powerful tools that that we should definitely, allow to serve us, and I mean, perfect example, I tell people all the time, a lot of times when we get into arguments with people or we beef with somebody, we have arguments in our minds first, and then we argue with them. You think you have a whole argument, you'll play it out like, oh man, when this person say this, I'm gonna say that, and then this and that. So you go through the whole, thing in your mind, and then you go out and then you do what you got to do. So so that goal setting was a really cool gem that I'm really happy that he shared with us.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that. So I believe, like I said, I believe this is the best time to be an entrepreneur, but at the same time, I believe it can be the worst time, because it can give you a false sense that I can do it. It's easy to do. Let me say that it's going to be easy to do, and really, it's not. It's going to be it's going to be challenging. It's going to be fun, but, well, for me, it's fun. But you have your ups, your downs, and man, sometimes some days are good. Some days it's like, wow, today's a good day, and then some days you thinking, like, you trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to work this situation out? And to your point, you understand how when you don't have a lot of funding, you got to get creative. So every day I got to think of ways to get it to be creative and work with what I have. But I believe that that's the reality of being an entrepreneur, is that being an entrepreneur is not really, for me, it's not about getting to the goal, but being able to get through the process. Because that's because some people you may not get to your goal for whatever reason, because of business, or the economy turns upside down, depending on what business you're in. And so there's so many other elements that we have to take in consideration and be open to the fact that, hey, you know what? I don't know if you ever read this book, Jeff Bezos. It was a book written on Jeff Bezos. And when he first started his business, he went around, his parents, he went around doing, presenting and getting money from his parents and other people. And when he started Amazon, and so when he went to his parents had, like, I think, a 401k savings, and they gave him all their savings. And so Jeff Bezos, they said, well, what's the percentage of this being successful or failing? And they were like 70. He was saying 70%. There's a 70% chance that you will not get your money back.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, man. I mean, I think, especially in this day and age, entrepreneurship looks very sexy, and
super sexy.
Make it look really cool and everything. But, it's the reason that, certain individuals are where they're at. And I think that we, we overestimate sometimes how successful we'll be and underestimate like how long things will take to actually, manifest and come to fruition. And then you get, a lot of outside pressure from friends or family, like, why is this taking so long? Why haven't you made $1 million yet or whatever? And, it's a process, just like anything else. And anybody look at, I love that graph. I don't know if you've seen one with the roadmap to success, and it's like all curvy and it's not a straight line, and that's why it's definitely people that maybe go to college. College is a straight, gives you like a straight path. Go 4 years, and then everything is just laid out for you. And entrepreneurship, or any just I think discipline that you're kind of just doing on your own, or forging your own path in life, is challenging. But at the same time, it'll be rewarding because you did something that's true to you. So. But it's not easy, it's definitely my dad's an entrepreneur, and my sister as well. So, I definitely saw my dad growing up, he owns a construction firm, just how hard it was for him, just the starting a business. And then, he must have had like 3 or 4 businesses before that. Actually, the one he's been running now for about 20 years actually, took off. And if you would have saw him at that first business, you're like, oh, you failed. Right. And it's one of the best quotes I like is ever tried, ever failed, no matter, fail again, try again, fail better. So you just you and it's not even really failures. It's just
you learn in lessons.
You learn the lessons. They're expensive as either, I think with these lessons you either learn it, but you either pay for it or you can learn via like time. And I think if you keep the right perspective about it, and then you just, like you said, enjoy the process and look at it like it's sports, you just got to go out there every day and grind. And then just know that if I keep grinding like this every day, be smart about it, then a year from now, I'm going to be in a much better place than I am right now.
Right. No, and that's totally, that's the thing. That is thing. And that's the thing where that's the part where I believe that it's kind of like I remember, me playing basketball, and I played in college, but in high school, what happened is everybody.
Excuse me, bro. I just got my phone's dying, man. I'm gonna just have to like plug up in the car, man. This is I really apologize.
We gonna no worries. We about to wrap up here soon, but
okay, yeah, my bad, bro. I couldn't.
No worries. Listen, man. I love. If anybody tell you, man, I love it when it's authentic.
Okay, I appreciate you, bro. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. For me, I feel like, when it's authentic like this, this is the part where I was like, this is the part that, especially as in our Black community, we don't show this part. We always want to keep it, you know what I mean? We gotta show our best light. We gotta be in the best light. We gotta be the sexiest. Like, no, show the process so people can actually see, and then they really know what it is and what it isn't. And I think people can appreciate that. They appreciate that you're transparent like that. But man, well, listen, Willie, I appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Share with everybody where they can find you, where they can reach you, and let everybody know.
Yeah. So you guys can check me out on Instagram and Twitter, King Willonious, KingWillonious. And then be on the lookout for my sitcom pilot that's dropping. It's called The Young and the Thirsty. That's The Young and the Thirsty, and we're doing a hashtag, The Young and the Thirsty. So that's going to be dropping really soon. So and everything else, if you just follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I'll post everything I'm doing on there.
Awesome, man. Willie, I appreciate it, man. We definitely gonna stay in contact, man. We got
bro, definitely.
And Willie does have a beard.
Yeah, I cut it because of my film that I was shooting. But I just want to plug and I definitely want to link with you about that, bro. Black Tech Week, in Miami in February. So it's a tech conference down in Miami, and by tech, everybody is involved in tech because you have a smartphone.
But we bring down venture capitalists, startup founders, entrepreneurs. We have a pitch competition. It's just an amazing weekend. And this year I'm on the board for planning some of the speakers that we want to bring down. So we'll definitely love to have you this year, bro. Yeah, blacktechweek.com. You can guys check out the info on the conference.
Okay. And then, yeah, let me know, when you guys start really going heavy on that, let me know. So
okay.
I can bring you back on, and then you can, you can talk more.
That'd be awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's something that, we all need.
I'll be in the office next time. I'll make sure I'm not in I'm not in my car. So
hey,
yeah.
Man. Hey man, it's dude. That's for me. They'll let you know, man. It don't matter. I set up shop anywhere.
I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You gotta get it done, bro. I always say my quote for the year is done is better than perfect.
Exactly.
So,
and it's in these moments. Just imagine this, and we're gonna end on this note. Just imagine if you was able to see Daymond John through his process. What would that have done to you? How would that have inspired you?
Man, that'd be a game changer, man.
Dude, if you would have saw the men doing what they doing, and they was in the trenches, like
when he started in his basement, yeah.
So just imagine what that would have done. So that's my approach, is that I want people to see that. I want them to see the grind. I don't want them to see the perfection, because they can get that anywhere. I want them to see the grind. So then when they see you, Willie, on that stage, and when you're there in your moment, and you're telling your story, they can go back and see you. They can say, go check my work. You can go check my work, and they're gonna be inspired more by your process than your accomplishment.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I appreciate the insights that you shared today, man. And I appreciate the platform, bro.
All right, well, Willie, this is Talk to Me Tuesday, episode 31. I appreciate everyone for joining us. Stay tuned for next week, Talk to Me Tuesday. Will be episode 32. This your boy B with the Beard. This is Black Men's Beard, and we out.